Hello and welcome, my favorite little YouTube hillbillies. How are you doing today? We have a sort of exciting mission for us to attempt today, or to complete, and it's the culmination of a lot of hard work in getting to Gilly. Now you can just see in the distance there, Eve, the lovely purple little mass in the background there. That's the parent body of Gilly. Now Gilly is basically just a captured asteroid, and it actually has the smallest mass and gravitational force of any body in the Kerbal system. That being said, I still want to get there. It still has importance for my Kerbals, and we still need to gather lots and lots of science from it. So in about 4 days' time, we will be at our maneuver point to get a capture on Gilly. Now, there is some problems with landing on Gilly, particularly if you go to an equatorial orbit, because as you're landing, there's something called the Coriolis effect, which I don't fully understand, but basically the sideways momentum is about 5 meters per second. So some people recommend tilting slightly away from the prograde marker in order to counterattack that sideways movement. Because it's so small, oh, there's my little alarm. Because it's so small, gravity is so tiny, and it can prove some difficulties in landing on there. Alright, we're basically at our maneuver node, so let's launch our engines and see what we can do here. Hopefully I'm going to be able to do this and not have to redo my encounter. Here we go, very close. Okay, let's just slow that down. Tiny little bit of thrust. Did I just miss it? I think I just missed it. Alright, maybe if I turn on the nav ball to there. Oh my goodness, we've overshot it. Good gotcha. Okay, let's fire now. There we go. We have our encounter. Beautiful. So, how long is it actually going to take to get there? Whoa. 17 days. That's quite a long time. Alright, now are there any scientific pieces of research we can do right now? Let's have a look. One of them is doing a materials study while high in space, but I don't really want to use my Science Junior until I've landed. I wonder if we can gather any other useful, like, pressure data that we can send back. No, only useful if we can recover it. Alright, in that case, we're going to whiz around. Now, obviously, there are further missions I could be doing back at home in the Kerbin system, but I don't really want to miss this opportunity to do this. Now, we should be getting rather close here. There's not a very large window of where we're going to be encountering it. Literally, it looks like less than an hour, maybe. Alright, we're going to be flying in here. Don't want to go too fast. Keep an eye on the X-Science thing on the left there. And give me a shout if you see any opportunities to do science. Obviously, before we get to Gilly. Once we're in the gravitational pull of Gilly, then we will definitely have some more science to do. There we go. So how long until we get to the periapsis? 24 minutes. Beautiful. That's quite a good periapsis as well. 5,000 meters. Brilliant. Okay. Let's go and do a little pressure scan. How much electricity do we have? 610. I can't even remember if I put expandable solar panels on here. Maybe we did that before we even had those. Well, I mean, maybe we even launched this before we had those expandable solar panels. Here we go. Let's beam that out. Now for temperature. Where is the temperature thing? Let's rotate my rocket around a little tad, like so. There he is. Alrighty. Another 10 science and a material study is bothering me again, but we can't really do that. Well, we can, but I don't want to. Okay. So once we get to the periapsis, we just got to drag this around and try and land on the thing. Now, Gilly has 3 biomes, lowlands, midlands, and highlands. Now, what I'm thinking is we should have enough electricity once we've finished landing to jump back up into the atmosphere, rotate, and find all the different biomes. I suspect we won't pass them all like this while flying over, but you never know. Let's see what we come up with. Okay, so we're whizzing in. Let's just bring up my X-Science module again. And we've got T minus 14 minutes. Oh, it's getting closer. 8 minutes. Come on, Reiny. Don't mess this up, you big ugly brute. Okay, if we want to get T-3 seconds. If you take a little look, actually, on the Kerbal alarm clock, in 47 days is when we take charge of Jebediah again. He's on a long journey back from Drez, so that'd be quite exciting. Alright, let me just position this. I think I'll do my burn now, rather than waiting for all this time to pass. There we are. Let's get a little tiny orbit. As long as we land on the daylight side, we should be able to land this beast. No problem. Okay, what does that look like? There's a nice big rock poking out there, which is a bit alarming. Okay, so if we fast forward, I can see loads of temperature scans. I'm not sure that I have the contract for those. If I just take you through the contracts I have on the top right here, we have got, where are we? Flyby Gilly, so we've achieved that goal. And then we've got conduct temperature surveys of Gilly. Ah, I thought we had another one. There we go, and explore Gilly. So yeah, hopefully we'll have enough fuel to take off, get another orbit, and get those temperature surveys done. Okay, so this is taking forever to move around here. I guess because we're so low across the surface. Let's see what it looks like from here. Rather splendid. Alright, I'm just going to leave this rotating then, and I will cut out the wheat from the chaff. However, we are in space near Gilly, according to X Science, which makes sense because we are. So we can actually do some more scientific research. If I can just find where my instruments are. There we go. Let's tilt it towards the sun. That will aid our visibility quite a lot. There we go. There's another 18 science. Keep an eye on our electric charge. We're golden. Spin the rocket round using our Q and E buttons, and we can log the temperature. Yeah. Alright. More science is on its way back home, guys. Alright, so I'm just going to leave this now to get into the daylight, and then we'll do our landing. Alrighty, here we go, guys. We are about to attempt our landing. I got a little bit confused because the mountains from here looked like I was going to crash into them. But on the overall map, when I look at the sort of solar system map, it didn't look like I was going to crash into them. So it's a little bit confusing. Alright, now I think gravity's so low on here that I might actually attempt this landing without using the actual final part of my rocket, because that way I can also have plenty of delta V left to try and complete those temperature experiments that is requested. Now, this is going to be bloody tricky because we're going so utterly slow, and there is lots and lots of slopes. So I wonder how I'm going to do this, to be fair. I wonder if I could go and land over there on top of this mountain. Let's try and aim over that way. Ready? Fire! Go over that way. Go on, son. Go on, get to the top of the mountain. Wow, Gilly's a right bugger to land on, isn't it? Come on. Fire in the hole. Go this way. It's difficult to tell if he's even going that way. Alright, we'll fire. We'll point downwards. That'll sort it out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure gravity's so low on here that I think our rocket won't tip over once we've landed it like this. There we go. We're going in the direction we want. Yay! Bloody hell, this is tricky to try and control this. There we go. That looks like a nice flat landing spot up there, doesn't it? Go on, son. Alright, let's go. Do a nice little slow burn, because we are travelling across the surface at 60 meters per second, and we're probably about to escape Gilly. Yes, we are. So we definitely need to slow down our velocity. That just shows you the ridiculously low escape velocity that Gilly has, to be fair. There we go. So I'm just going to kind of cheat and just point my nose down a little bit. There we go. If I point this way and try and land on that flat, it looks relatively flat. And then if we point a little bit downwards, if we can, that should speed up our descent because it's going to take forever otherwise. And that's not what we're interested in at all. Looks like we're about to escape again. Although I think this will be my landing spot here. 5 minutes to get to there. And 5 hours to get to there. Yeah, definitely. So we're going to be landing right about there on a kind of flat spot. This is so difficult to land though. Jesus Christ. Okay, here we go. Let's tilt that way. And if you take a look at my altitude above the terrain, we're 500 meters above it now. I know I've switched accents there. This is proving rather problematic, I say, old chap. There we go. That's coming in at a nice steep angle. And we're going 20 meters per second. We're 200 meters above the terrain. And we need to get our velocity at a certain speed so we don't actually escape the gravity, but slow enough that we actually land safely. And we keep this thing stable so it doesn't tip over. Because like I said, I don't want to waste any of the delta V that we have available. So let's see how this is coming in. Surface velocity 4 meters per second. Cool. Now this place has no atmosphere. You know what it could do with an atmosphere to make it a little more interesting? The planet's like a big chocolate button or something. Pretty boring, but valuable for the REinsteinian Kerbal Space Agency. Here we go. Look at that. We're about to come into a softish landing. I think the thrust on this rocket's a bit too much, to be fair, but I can't bear to waste this much delta V. Who knows? I mean, eventually I could leave this in orbit, and there might be other experiments that I could use the wow. I think that would literally stand on its side. I'm sure I've done a video previously where I left the rocket standing on its side. There we go. We have a landing. That's ridiculous. It doesn't even tip me over or anything. Actually, technically we're not on the ground. We're still floating above it. There we go. Now we landed. All right. So we can do temperature scan, atmospheric scan, what else? Seismograph. So let's log the seismic data. There's another 36 science to be gained from that. Let's get some pressure data. Now I've got to keep an eye on my electricity here, because it may run to quite a lot sending back that seismic data. It seems to be the more complicated the scientific instrument, the more, even though you don't get that much more science from it, it seems to use a lot more electricity to send back the data. Not sure why that is, but it's true nonetheless. Alright, we can do observing of the materials bay also, and that will give us 35 science. Brilliant. So I think we'll keep that for now, and then wait till we've filled up on electricity. But from REinstein, that's about it. What I will do, since we're at the Highlands, I don't need to show you it because it's basically the same thing, and it'll take forever for all the landings and stuff. But what I will do is send this rocket to the Lowlands and the Midlands, and also then send it back into orbit and try and do those temperature scans. So there'll be plenty more opportunity for more scientific data. But for me, thank you ever so much for watching. It was a pretty difficult episode. Hopefully you stuck with me. And please don't forget to visit the REinstein apparel store, REinstein merchandise. There's a link in the description. Go get yourself a cool t-shirt or something. Take care, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.